Life rushes by, but time seems to betray us. Do you feel the present slipping like sand through your fingers, while your soul longs for a future that never arrives? Today, we will challenge the clock. We will reveal how stillness can be your compass for presence, a portal to a youth of the soul that chronological time cannot reach. Discover the silent wisdom that resides where there is no rush. We live in an era where the clock seems to dictate the rhythm of our soul. The anxiety of time pursues us, pushing us towards an uncertain future, while the present, the only place where life happens, slips away. We seek answers in tomorrows that never come, in distant promises, and we lose the richness of the now. Perhaps you feel this urgency, this existential restlessness that prevents you from anchoring yourself in peace. It's as if fulfillment is always up ahead, on a horizon that recedes with each step. But what if true clarity isn't in accelerating, but in stopping? And what if the source of our deepest youth and presence resided in something that time cannot touch? Silence. This is an invitation to an inner transformation, to a profound reconnection with a spiritual truth that pulses within your inner path. It is the opportunity to rediscover that the constancy of being resides not in the race, but in the stillness that allows the awakening of consciousness. The human mind, in its incessant search for control and security, constantly projects itself into tomorrow, elaborating scenarios, planning, and anticipating events that have not yet materialized. Simultaneously, it clings to the past, reliving pains, regrets, and memories. This uninterrupted mental journey, whether to the future or to the past, prevents the full experience of the only real moment, the now. It is a process that resembles a river trying to flow to a distant destination, forgetting that its waters are always new and vibrant in the present. The underlying pain of time anxiety does not manifest as a simple scarcity of time, but as a profound absence of presence. The mind, which should serve as a tool, often transforms into a tyrannical master, pulling the individual away from the essential stillness of their own existence. The loss of the present is directly caused by the mind's identification with its own projections, whether they are future plans or past ruminations. The immediate effect of this identification is the creation of suffering, anxiety, and restlessness, since reality manifests only in the now. This script seeks to support the dissolution of the ego and the liberation of the conditioned mind, according to the teachings of masters like Eckhart Tolle and Jiddu Krishnamurti. This explanation details how the mind creates this condition of suffering, preparing the ground for the solution that will be presented: presence and silence. The metaphor of the river is crucial here. It not only symbolizes the flow of time, but also the ability to be in time without being trapped by it. The escape from the present is not merely an individual failure, but a deeply rooted social conditioning that values future results over present experience. The narrative subtly challenges this perspective by describing it as a tyranny of the mind, aligning with the goal of helping to reprogram limiting beliefs. But if it is the mind that traps us in time, then is there a way to free ourselves from this tyranny? The answer may not be in doing more, but in silencing and allowing the moment to reveal its own eternity. There is, however, a space within each of us that the clock cannot measure, a domain of no time, where the eternity of the moment reveals itself. It is what contemporary masters, like Eckhart Tolle, describe as the power of now. The proposal is not to stop the external world, but to quiet the mind that incessantly races. In inner stillness, the perception that time is, in large part, a mental construct becomes clear. The past is gone, the future has not yet arrived. What is real and tangible is only this point of presence. It is in this fertile void that consciousness finds space to expand, revealing the timeless wisdom that has always been present, awaiting a silent listening. The practice of inner stillness is the direct cause for experiencing the eternity of the moment. The effect of this practice is the dissolution of the mental construct of time and, consequently, the expansion of consciousness. By referencing Eckhart Tolle, The narrative uses a recognized authority in the field of spiritual development, lending credibility without falling into dogmatism. The expression fertile void is particularly significant, as it transforms the idea of void from an absence to a source of potential and wisdom. This concept challenges the linear and goal-oriented view of life prevalent in modern society. It suggests that true fulfillment comes not from achieving future goals, but from fully experiencing the present moment. This aligns with the objective of offering spiritual clarity and emotional balance. And it is in this silent space of the now that a paradox begins to reveal itself. Time may pass, but something within us remains untouched. A subtle mystery that transforms how we age, inside and out. Although the physical body ages and the seasons of life alternate, the essence that resides within, the soul, remains immune to the passing of years. This is a profound paradox. The more a person connects with inner silence, the less they identify with chronological age. The soul, in its nature, has no wrinkles, no hurry. It operates at its own intrinsic rhythm. It is like the mountain, firm, immutable, observing the clouds of time pass without being affected by them. In silence, it is possible to access this dimension of existence that is perennially new, always present and full. This is true youth, not that of the physical body, but that of consciousness recognizing itself as timeless. The apparent contradiction between physical aging, governed by linear time, and the timelessness of the soul, is resolved through the lens of consciousness, which is accessed through silence. The youth of the soul is not about reversing the biological aging process, but about transcending identification with the physical body and with chronological time. This discussion deepens the concept of no time by applying it to the universal human experience of aging. It offers a profound reinterpretation for the individual journey, for those who may be dealing with physical changes and the perception of time slipping away. The intention is to deeply validate the listener's emotions, and this new perspective offers comfort and a new outlook on a universal concern. The use of the mountain archetype reinforces the idea of stability and timeless wisdom. This idea fosters a sense of inner liberation from social pressures related to youth and aging, shifting the focus from external appearance and chronological achievements to the internal state and spiritual depth. This aligns with the emphasis on a real, silent, and daily lived spirituality. But how to access this dimension untouched by time? How to experience this silent youth of the soul amidst daily noise? The answer, once again, lies in listening, but a listening that goes beyond the ears. How, then, is it possible to access this timeless youth? The answer lies in the practice of deep listening. It's not about hearing what is outside, but about tuning into what pulses within your very being. A simple exercise can be performed. Find a moment of stillness. Gently close your eyes. Breathe, feeling the air enter and exit. Then, listen, not to external sounds, but to the silence that exists between sounds. Listen to the space that manifests between thoughts. Feel the vastness of your own being. In this fertile void, there is not absence, but rather the fullness of consciousness itself. It is there that timeless wisdom resides, whispering truths that the noisy mind, in its agitation, cannot perceive. Allow yourself to be the observer, the listener, and not the noise. The practice of deep listening is the direct cause for accessing inner wisdom and experiencing the fertile void. This is the practical application of the philosophical concepts discussed earlier. The objective is to offer practices that bring more presence, clarity, and simplicity to life. This section provides a concrete and actionable step, translating abstract concepts into lived experience. The instruction to listen to the space between thoughts is a direct reference to mindfulness and contemplation practices, aligning with an approach to meditation as a transformative practice of presence and silence. This practice empowers the individual by providing a tool for self-discovery and internal regulation. It reinforces the idea that answers are not external, but internal, which is in harmony with the focus on reconnecting with the self and self-knowledge as a spiritual path. The practice of silence leads us to perceive that, despite the constant movement of life, there is something that observes without moving. It is like a river that keeps flowing, but which, in its essence, never changes. Consider the image of the river. It flows incessantly, its waters are never the same, but the river, in its essence, remains. It does not cling to the water that has passed, nor does it worry about what is yet to come. It simply is the flow. Thus is time, a river that does not stop. And thus is the human soul, the constant bank, the essence that observes the flow of life without being carried away by it. The waters represent experiences, ages, challenges that arise and pass. The bank is timeless consciousness, always present, always new. This metaphor teaches effortless fluidity, surrender without resistance, and the wisdom that, although everything is constantly changing, something essential in being remains intact, young, and eternally connected to the now. This metaphor beautifully synthesizes all the previous points: the flow of time, the anxiety of time, the timelessness of the present, the eternity of the instant, and the soul that does not age, the paradox of aging. It offers a holistic understanding. Deep spiritual metaphors awaken intuitive discernment. The river metaphor is particularly powerful because it allows the listener to visualize and feel the concept of simultaneous change and constancy. It is a non-dualistic perspective, aligned with Alan Watts' non-dual perception. It offers a gentle and non-imposing way to understand complex spiritual truths. This final point of development offers a powerful framework for navigating the impermanence of life. It encourages acceptance and non-resistance, which are crucial for emotional healing and spiritual expansion, especially for an audience that has frequently experienced losses, profound changes, or periods of great internal transition. And when one understands this dance between the flow of life and the constancy of being, something within quiets down. One finally realizes that time no longer needs to be an enemy. It can be the scenery, but never again the protagonist. Silence, as observed, is not an absence, but the purest form of presence. It does not age, because it is the very source of life that renews itself every instant. By connecting with this inner stillness, with the eternity of the now, a person frees themselves from the shackles of chronological time and rediscovers the youth of the soul that resides in their essence. May we then embrace the flow of life like the river, knowing that, on the inner bank, the constancy of being awaits. And what if true freedom were not in controlling time, but in inhabiting the timeless that each one already is? If something within you calmed or awakened upon hearing these words, allow yourself to continue this journey of fertile silence, discoveries, and reconnection. Leave your experience in the comments. Your sharing is also a seed of healing for other hearts. May this message be a gentle breath on your journey. Peace and light.